Get ready, because this is your backstage pass
into the real and raw reality
of being a hairstylist.
I'm Hailee.
And I'm Reilly.
And this is the Light After Dark podcast.
Hey.
Hey.
We're so excited to be here right now.
This is literally the best thing ever.
We've been talking about starting a podcast and doing something like this for probably about a year.
Yeah, I would say.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's been in the back of our minds, and we just finally decided to go for it.
Yep. So here we are.
Here we are. Basically, with Light After Dark, we want to give everyone, whether you're a stylist or just a listener, our unfiltered take on the beauty industry.
Yep. Where we want to build a community. We're going to ask the tough questions, the things you don't want to hear, the things you do want to hear, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it in between.
Basically, just real life shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it. We kind of just want this podcast to feel like the morning after debrief after like the best night out with your friends ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best. The morning after debrief is the best thing ever. Every girl knows it.
Yeah.
It just is.
So that's the vibe.
Get your ears opened, get a glass of wine, get a cup of coffee, get whatever you want, take a seat, and get ready.
Get ready. So today's episode, we figured it would be a really good idea to take it way back and talk about how we got here and why we started doing hair in the first place, basically.
Yeah. There's a lot to get into, more than just this episode, but we'll give you the summarized version. Let's start off with who we are. I'm Hailee, obviously.
And I'm Reilly. We can first start with, we met in hair school.
Yeah.
It was kind of unconventional because we started during COVID. It was 2021. And we were online on hybrid. Mm-hmm. So the first day we met was our kit pickup day. And I was a fucking stalker. I remembered where Hailee said she was from. And I was like, I know someone who lives there. Like, do you want to be my friend, basically, is what I did.
It's so funny because after we, talked about that, I, didn't do the same thing. But, I did. I was like, yeah, we're going to be best friends. So that's just what that is.
It was kind of immediately. It was kind of weird. I feel like I've never had love at first sight like that before. How many years has it been? It's 2025 now, so shit.
4 years.
Crazy.
Almost a full 4.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Okay, so Hailee, why did you go to cosmetology school?
I've always wanted to do hair. Mom and sister do hair. So I've always known I wanted to. I was actually supposed to start hair school in 2020, but we don't talk about that year. Obvious reasons. So therefore 2021 is when I started, but it works out perfectly.
It was fate, I think.
I think
God,
so too.
God put us there at the same time on purpose.
Honestly, I think so.
I know.
I think if I had started that year before, genuinely nothing would be the same.
I could cry about it actually right now. Why am I getting emotional?
The tissues.
You guys are already starting to get to know me so well. I cry at everything. I'm a crier.
But you started for a completely different reason.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. I didn't want to do hair even the littlest bit at all. I went into school because I always wanted to be a makeup artist. I did theater growing up, so I was always heavy into makeup, doing theater makeup. And then when I was in 5th grade, I had a YouTube channel. It lasted for many, many years. Didn't stop posting until early high school.
Yeah.
I would make makeup tutorials and other beauty things along those lines. So I was set on being a makeup artist, and I started school with the intention to put up with learning how to do hair.
That's a crazy sentence.
I know.
That's insane.
I literally was like, I guess I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And we met.
Yeah.
And because her family does hair, she knew a lot of stuff going into hair school. And Hailee worked in salons beforehand too for years. So she had a really good head on her shoulders and knew a lot more than most people that we were surrounded by in school. So the fact that we clicked immediately, you basically took me under your wing and started to teach me things, even if it wasn't on purpose. Right. You totally did. Yeah. You totally did.
Unintentionally.
Exactly. And I feel like once she started showing me the ropes, I was like, wait, I'm kind of good at this.
It clicked like that.
Yeah. It was kind of way too easy. I hate to say that. That sounds self-centered, but I really did catch on pretty quickly for not even wanting to do it in the first place.
I remember
the
explaining a couple things better than school did.
Yeah. And we'll get into that.
Yeah. And I was literally just go watch videos. And you were like, okay. Had a client the next day. I was like,
did a fire balayage.
Literally.
I was like,
okay.
Maybe I should do hair. We started hair school 2021. in August. Like I said, it was unconventional. We were online for a little bit, and then we were hybrid for a little bit. So we did half online, half in person.
Right. I think it was like a good like 2 months of full.
It was a while.
Online.
Yeah, it was a while. They don't teach you a whole lot. It's a lot of the basics and a lot of dexterity things. If you've been through school, you know what we're talking about. Having Hailee was actually awesome. I feel like I probably wouldn't do hair if we didn't become friends.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hair school is the hardest thing ever, low-key.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, that entire year, probably from, like, honestly, just, like, when we started up until, like, halfway through that was probably, like, one of the second hardest times of my life. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Totally.
And I don't think I would have kept my head above water as much as I did.
Totally.
If we weren't friends.
I completely agree. I feel like we had an interesting school experience with COVID.
Yeah.
And then we kept our heads down, per se. We wanted to show up and get our hours done and leave.
Like very much so go to school every day, don't miss a day, but also just like get it done.
It was kind of upsetting because at first I was obsessed with school. And then as it went on, the learning kind of went to a halt.
Yeah.
And I feel very strongly that you have to take that into your own hands when you're in cosmetology school.
It is what you make it.
And I feel like because we were friends with each other, didn't really expand on our friendships a whole lot.
Right.
There was a narrative that we were mean girls.
Yeah.
And it was very upsetting. I feel like we're some of the nicest girls ever.
I would like to say so.
I would like to say so too. And
I will say I've always had a rap for looking mean.
You got an RBF.
Really bad.
Really bad.
So I get that version of it, but
also,
I will say I don't feel like this was the same mean girl name.
No.
Which I didn't appreciate.
No, I didn't appreciate it either. I feel like if any of these people were to actually ever come up and talk to us, I would never be disrespectful to any one of them.
Absolutely.
So I was very upset about that, but also school's what you make it, so we kept our head down, dealt with it.
Yeah.
It was an interesting graduating experience though, because people literally got up on the fucking stage and were like, yeah, we thought you guys were mean, ha ha ha, but like, you're not that mean, ha ha ha.
Hair school's a weird time. It's a weird community in itself.
Yeah.
It's a weird, like all of it's just weird.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody. You got to find a person or two and you click with them.
Exactly.
And you stay with them.
And then you'll get through it.
Yeah. And here we are.
Here we are. So one thing I did forget to mention is that I actually was a lash tech for a little bit. I kind of always was interested in doing lashes. I feel like lashes were really similar to like the makeup vibes that I started school with.
That's true.
I had looked into getting my lash certification before I even started school. Like it was a long time thing that I wanted to learn how to do. And then the school had like a pretty inexpensive certification thing, which you did too.
I did do that. I did that before we started school.
Yeah, I did it a little bit after. So with that, I got certified and then started my own business. And I actually did clients from my bedroom at my dad's house on the weekends.
Yes.
That was one of the couple jobs I did throughout school to get me through. And then I continued that business for a little bit after I graduated too, until I got more comfortable doing hair.
Did you do that for a year?
I did it for over a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
it was
that.
like,
that's crazy.
I think it was almost 2 years. And then
Really?
I quit because I was getting booked with hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need to do this anymore.
Much, right.
Yeah. I was upset to stop, but now I don't miss them at all.
No.
Actually.
I remember you contemplating that.
Yeah.
It was a while.
It was a while.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it for a long time, but I was scared. So another thing Hailee influenced me on a lot was she worked in a salon. She knew so much shit from working in a salon. It was kind of funny with us starting at Braun. They followed my Instagram, my hair page, the same day that our school posted the job posting, saying that they were hiring an assistant. And that was like pretty much the same week that I had told you like, oh, maybe I'll start in a salon to figure out if I want to do hair. Like, I don't know. Like, what should I do? Yeah, it was a sign. It was like, start there. Now. So that's the only salon I've ever interviewed at, worked at, or anything along those lines. It's kind of crazy.
Then I interviewed. I was already working at a salon that I had been at for like 2 years or something. And I already had like the timeline with them, like of like starting hair, but I was shampooing at the time. And I was like, let me make a little extra money because I couldn't get any more hours at the salon I was at. So I was like, doesn't hurt. Let's explore a different salon, like different vibe. It'll be cool. So I started there same day as you.
Yeah.
I like interviewed a week after, a couple days or something, and then we just started.
on the same day.
Yeah,
It was great.
Perfect.
It was so perfect because I had only ever worked in restaurants and like babysat in high school. The multitasking and talking to people I have down. I'm great at that. But I had no idea what the fuck to do in a salon as an assistant.
It's completely different.
I was like, you rip foils? Like, you wash dishes and fold laundry?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I had no idea, like, what I was supposed to be prioritizing and keeping up on. So having Hailee starting on the same day, it was kind of like the most perfect thing ever.
Yeah.
So she not only showed me the ropes in school, she showed me the ropes at the salon, too.
I had, like, not 6 years. I don't know how many years. A lot of years in a salon before that.
A lot.
So
yeah. She's
you'll
like,
learn a thing or two.
An opposite of me. Hailee's only ever worked in a salon environment, pretty much.
I worked in a restaurant for a day.
Yeah.
And then quit.
No, it's the worst.
It's awful.
The day I realized you can leave work smelling good and feeling pretty, like, oh my God, I recommend working in a salon to every like high schooler I've ever met. Like, if I don't have to leave and smell like syrup and ketchup,
I'm good.
I'm good. I don't want to do it.
Nope.
No.
Disgusting.
Let's go back. Cosmetology school. We started in 2021.
Yeah, August of 2021. We were in school for a year. Graduated August, September, I think.
Yeah.
We had already taken one part of our test, so we only had to do one more part to pass, and we did that also on the same day.
It could have gone really good or really bad.
Actually, that could be that's a whole other thing.
That's
that
a
could
whole
have been
episode.
Really bad for me.
That is a whole
for
episode.
All of us,
we can't even get into it right now.
I'm having anxiety.
I know, but we took the test together and we passed together.
Yep. And then we were able to start taking clients on some days right after that.
Yeah. I think it was October of 2022. We started taking clients.
Yeah, I think so.
You were still at both salons.
I was.
And I was just at Brond. But at that point in time, I was still doing lashes. So I would do twice a week my own hair clients, twice a week assisting, and then twice a week on the weekends doing lashes. And
she was working.
I was working. At that point in time, I had stopped doing lashes at my dad's house in my bedroom and started renting Brond out basically and setting up my bed and all my stuff just when I used it on the weekend. So it was the perfect situation there for a while.
Yeah. Like fast forward a few months, I left Brond because I was, like I said, balancing both.
Right.
And I left to stay full time at my first salon.
Yeah.
That I worked at the time. And I stayed there for like a year. I thought it was going to be easy balancing, taking clients at both salons. It's a lot harder. Anybody in school, anybody contemplating that, if you can do it, great. It's really difficult, especially when they're within like such a close radius of each other.
Right. Like
maybe if they're in like different counties.
They're far, but they're not that far.
They're not that far.
Not
that far based on clients.
No.
Clientele.
No, because people will drive an hour for their hair. Like they be driving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I did that. I stayed there for a little over a year. And then when Brond expanded, I asked if I could come back. And now I'm here.
And they said, bet. It was cool. I really liked how Brond, they were fine with you doing both salons. We had a lot of independence in the beginning, but also guidance at the same time with taking our own clients. There was never like, no, you're not allowed. They were like, yeah, if you want to, go ahead. But I was really happy that they still gave me and you the opportunity to assist.
Yes.
So one, we weren't broke as fuck. And two, watching a stylist of 10 years do hair is the best way to learn so much. Like they taught me basically everything I know.
Right.
It's insane how much I immediately grew, even when I was just assisting and still in school. So that was really nice. And then as I was starting to get busier, they would decrease days and I would increase my client days.
I will say that is where also difference with me going back to the other salon is that instead of continuing to do that, I was just let off. Like, I just went full force.
Immediately.
Which was, like, great, but also had its drawbacks, too.
Right.
Neither way is right nor wrong.
Right.
Just very different.
Very different.
But it's a different dynamic. The two salons that I worked at was a different dynamic. So
totally.
It's definitely very contrasting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like you definitely learned a lot of valuable things.
Yeah.
And that's a whole episode in itself.
It is. Yeah.
Things that I didn't get to experience, but also things that I don't want to experience.
Right. And vice versa. Well, I would have liked to experience those things too, but definitely different experiences.
There's a time for everything.
There is.
A time and a place.
Yes.
I think my assisting and taking my own clients lasted until the summer of 2023. So I was a little under a year doing both. there was a couple of months before that client-wise and mentally, I was ready to go full-time with my own clients, but they needed me as an assistant because
Yes.
everyone else was still busy at the salon.
Right.
So I stuck it out for like a couple months, and then we brought on one of our girls who still works with us. And then I was able to start full-time taking my own clients, which was
Exactly.
scary,
It's so scary.
but it was so
Nobody touched that
rewarding.
part.
No, it was so scary.
Yeah.
And then like Hailee said, I stopped doing lashes a little bit before that. Once I was consistently booked, and I think I had one assisting day left, I stopped doing lashes. That was a big decision, but
Yeah.
I don't miss it at all. It was
No.
definitely the right thing to do.
It's
for
like
sure.
the same but different as like me balancing the two salons, trying to balance both businesses is very difficult. It's
Exactly.
a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of just
Exactly. And the
you need to
whole like
focus.
two days a week, only doing Saturdays and Sundays. It was
Yeah.
great at first when I was in school and it worked, but
Right.
it's not sustainable for
No.
doing lashes when that's such a high maintenance
Exactly.
kind of service. Like
Yeah.
you can't only have 2 days a week open,
No.
or else you only have like 16 total clients.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like
Or you have
it's
to
ridiculous.
work 24 hours of the day.
Exactly. The second Hailee reached back out to come back to the salon, I was like giddy. I literally wrote down in my notes, I said, my world got brighter when Hailee came back, because like we were still best friends.
Yeah.
Like that never went away.
Right.
But we were working the most opposite schedules. We never got to see each other.
No.
And we're not phone people.
No.
Like we are the worst
So bad.
texters ever. Like it's really horrific.
It's actually like every day I'm like, hey, did you see my text?
And I'm like, no. Or I'm like, yeah, I answered in my head.
But I didn't answer.
Yeah, but I didn't answer.
But same.
No, yeah.
It's really bad.
It's both of us. So
It was perfect.
our friendship has only gotten stronger
Yeah.
and better since you've returned.
I feel like normally people would say like, oh, I work with my friends, but like it's not the same. Like that kind of sounds bad sometimes. Like in the sense of like your work is the only thing that keeps you guys friends, but like that's not what this was.
No.
Like this is like a different thing than that.
Correct. Because we were still like, if anyone, while you were not working with me, was like, who's your best friend? I'd be like, Hailee.
Exactly.
You're still my best friend.
Yes.
Even though I didn't get to see you all the time.
Right. But that's how you know your best friends.
Exactly.
So
We only got stronger.
exactly.
And now that you're back, it's just better than ever.
It's actually been like the best, not even full year yet.
I know. It's crazy.
Like,
it's so awesome.
Just pure good energy.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I feel like you just immediately meshed back. Like the team didn't change a ton
No.
right when you came back.
Right.
But like still, like it changed a little bit.
It
And now
did.
we have even more staff. Like I feel like it's
Yes.
just meshing the most perfectly
So
ever.
great. Yeah.
So great.
It's a really good dynamic
Yeah.
that everybody has. So now, obviously, we're both back at Brond. Before I was doing a lot of everything. There wasn't really much I said no to. Still, it's kind of that way. But it was more of like an open book of like literally everything. I wanted to come back because I wanted to kind of like hone in on a specialty.
She wanted to niche down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I have a hard time doing that because I like doing everything. Like somebody comes to me, don't come to me and ask me to do fashion colors. But if you do, I'm probably going to say yes.
She'll be like, okay,
Yeah,
what color? I'll
guess.
stop at Centric.
I have a hard time saying no. But with all that being said, I wanted to kind of at least start like pushing myself over to the more like natural, like lived in, low maintenance. That's like the whole vibe of Brond.
Yeah, we didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Brond is a unique salon. I love it
Mm-hmm.
because we specialize in lived in color mostly.
Yeah.
And like blonding and brunettes and extensions.
Yes.
So we're a very niched down salon.
Yes.
You don't come to us for a pixie cut. You don't
No.
come to us for fashion colors.
Right.
We don't really do that many men's cuts. It's
No.
kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is one of the reasons that I'm so happy there. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with the bullshit that I know
Exactly.
another salon would make me go through and deal
Yes.
with. And there is value to that,
For
but
sure.
I don't want it.
No. And I feel like there is something with doing, like once you do have like somewhat of a book and being able to do like back-to-back foils or whatever kind of work like that, you get to try something on the first one and then say that your second client asks for exactly that. You can do it the same way
Yeah.
or you
Be
can
like, "That was
alter it a
perfect."
little.
Yeah.
Like before I was doing maybe a foil client a day or like 3 a week because I had
That's
so many other filler
crazy.
things in there, like haircuts or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So I don't feel like I was able to really grow.
Yeah. You felt like you were just like in the same spot.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
totally get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now doing more,
Yeah.
you can see the difference.
I didn't realize you were not doing that many. Like that's insane.
Like,
3 foils a week. Like we
Yeah.
do 3 foils a day.
No, literally.
It's
Like
insane.
some weeks it would be more, but like I did a
Of
lot of
course.
haircuts, blow dries. I did a lot of blow dries. And when you're starting off, I would say, like, in most salons that are, like, more open like that, or just maybe just my salon, I don't know. That's kind of what the starter stylists do.
That makes sense.
Which I'm bombing a blowout.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Love a blowout.
But it is nice.
But 8
doing
back to
others.
back, you'll want to kill yourself. Yeah.
Your hands hurt.
Now everyone wants the rollers too.
Ah!
So yeah, I've always kind of specialized a little bit in like lived in color and blonding and extensions and stuff. But similarly to you, I'm not gonna like crazy turn someone away. Like if one of my girls wants a fashion color, we'll do a fashion color. I do men's cuts if you're friends or family and you're comfortable with me doing your men's cut and pointing and saying fix this right here.
Yeah.
We're good. We'll be perfect. But I'm not gonna charge strangers off the street for a men's cut. We don't do a barber fade. You don't want it.
You don't want it, I promise.
So I love that fact about Brand.
Also, our bosses, they're on the younger side of owning a business.
Yes.
So I think that's also really cool to see somebody like not that much older than us.
Yeah.
Growing like this.
Exactly.
And doing all of the things.
Exactly. When we started, we were their first I was their first full-time employee because Hailee split between the two salons. So it was technically me.
Yeah.
And I was their only full-time employee for actually a good while until our other co-stylist, Veronica, graduated.
Yes.
So that was a really cool opportunity, especially on my assisting days. I got like one-on-one time with Kaylee and Trisha. And then same thing you said, watching them grow from our first salon, which was 5 chairs, to now we have 10 chairs and the space is like 3 times the size. It was an insane transformation and I can't believe that they're so successful being their age, and it's just such a cool thing to get to see. And they're such role models for us.
It's like so inspiring, like not to be like whatever, but like, it's just so inspiring.
We're kissing their ass, but like I love them like
so much.
Yeah. They're so inspiring. Best mentors we could have asked for.
Yes, literally.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and I'm not leaving anytime ever.
Neither am I.
Period.
Promise.
Period.
Katie and Trisha, if you're watching this.
Pinky promise. So now it's been how long since I've been doing hair full time?
Chair full time?
Like, has it been over 2 years?
I don't want to think about this.
It's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah, October was 2.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's weird because also you kind of count in school, but you like also don't.
Right. So that's crazy.
Yeah. It's wild to think about.
I remember starting, it's funny, I said this to Hailee this morning. I was like clearing out my storage and I saw a video of me brushing out some girls' curls. Probably the same month I got licensed. I look uncomfortable as fuck and like I don't know how to brush hair.
You're like,
yeah, literally, like I look like I'm like trying not to hurt her.
Can I touch you?
No, literally. Is it okay if I touch you? Do I have consent?
No, bitch.
No,
you
bitch.
Don't.
Not when you look
like that.
Timid. Like, come on. So it's funny to see how much growth we've already had. But also on the same note, it feels like I started 5 minutes ago, but it also feels like I've been doing it my whole life. Like I don't even remember what life was before I started doing hair low-key.
No.
It's crazy. It's really crazy.
I feel that, I'm not gonna say I feel it more than you, but I feel that more. Because I remember like being in my kitchen at like,
I feel that, but more than the way you feel it.
I mean, I feel like I've just been, I don't even know. Like so long.
Yeah.
I remember like during COVID when everything was shut down. No, like before that, I'm a liar. I would just be in the kitchen with a mannequin doing the most funky shit.
Yeah.
With its hair.
Yeah.
At like midnight.
Well.
For what?
You know, I've told you, I would make my mother.
Yeah.
I would make my mother color my hair in the bathroom for years and years and years. I, one time, bought dark brown box dye, blonde box dye, and said, Mom, put the brown up top and put the blonde on the ends, and I'm going to have an ombre.
That shit fire.
And honestly, could have been worse.
It could have.
I don't know where I got that idea because I did not watch a tutorial. That was just from my brain.
But you didn't know you wanted to do hair.
But I didn't know I wanted to do hair.
Okay.
Subconsciously, I think I did know.
I think so too.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
My mom, she would box dye my hair all the time. And then when I was over that, once I was like early high school, I was like, I'm done with this shit. Like, take me to get my hair done.
Yeah.
She took me to art cosmetology school and would pay to get my hair done at.
Oh, yeah, because that's where
that's where I met my hairstylist that I went to for years. I met her when she was in their honors program.
That's right.
She did my mom's hair. Someone else did my hair. My hair looked like shit. And then my mom's hair looked fire. And so I went back a couple months later.
I want to see her.
I saw my girl. She did my hair once or twice when she was in school. And then I followed her for probably 3 or 4 years to maybe 2 different salons that she went to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was awesome. And then I remember the day I told her I was going to cosmetology school, she was so excited. And that's the day I met one of our girlfriends from school.
Yeah.
She worked at the salon that I went to as a client. And she was like, oh my God, we're going to be there at the same time. And like, I was at ease knowing I knew someone there.
Yeah.
And I remember my first day in person, she came up to me and was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see you. And I was like, thank God she remembers me.
Yeah.
Thank God. But even like their manager like came up and they're like, so you're starting school. Like they immediately started like preying on me.
You're like,
and I was like, I want to do makeup.
Yeah. Out of my face.
Like, I don't want to do hair. And then they were all like, oh, okay.
Whatever.
And then here I am. So sorry, guys.
It's actually so crazy. Like, not crazy. It's just so cool when somebody tells you that they're going to cosmetology school. That's like hairstylist Christmas. Yes. It's like you just get so excited.
Don't sit in my chair and say, I can't decide if I want to go to college or cosmetology school, because
that
was me, and we'll tell you to not go to college. Don't go.
I very much so have a client that did that, and she is going to cosmetology school after she gets out of college. So you know who you are. I love you.
You know who you are? Yeah, anytime anyone's ever said anything, I'm like, well, I've been graduated high school for like 4 years, maybe not even that long. And I've accomplished so many things and I love my job. Couldn't imagine doing anything else. So
I also feel like, which to each their own, I feel like it develops you as a person.
It does.
Like,
it speeds up like your mental
development.
Growth. Yeah, like my brain, it's like, bitch, you're 25.
Yeah.
Like my frontal lobe has been developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely also think that could depend on the people.
True.
But to the same point, like, I think it is.
It just forces you to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, like, have to say uncomfortable shit. That was some of the hardest things to learn, was how to talk to people and how to deal with people and make them hear you, especially with, like, hair. They don't understand what you're saying.
And a lot of the times, like, now I feel like we do a lot more clients that are our age. But before that, you're doing a lot of clients that are 10, 20, maybe 30 years older than you. You have to earn their respect,
and
in a
there's
sense.
Already a disconnect.
Yes.
Because they're looking at you like this young bitch. She doesn't know how to do hair.
Right.
They don't trust you.
No.
Then if they don't trust you, it's not going to go well.
Right.
Regardless of even if you do what they ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot of
learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. We hope you guys got to know us a little bit better.
And today was just the intro, so we're going to get into, like, the real shit next time.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for all of our new episodes. They're going to be on all streaming platforms, so we're going to upload them Thursdays at 7 a.m.
Get up early, bitches.
Yeah.
Listen on your way to work.
You got things to do.
Again, I'm Riley. You can find me on Instagram. I'm at Riley Ruth Beauty there and on TikTok, too.
I'm Hailee, and you can find me on Instagram at, it's a long one, Creations by Hailee Christine. And TikTok is the same thing, but drop the Christine. Just Creations by Hailee.
Period. So this was your backstage pass to the beauty industry.
And just the real truth about BFFs, styling, and living
after dark.